Hello and welcome to part 23 of Fallout New Vegas Stealth Build playthrough. Today we're gonna continue with the quests that we currently have. Um, so that is the X8 High School Horror, the X2 Stern Transmission, and the Sonic Emitter Upgrade. I think we'll need to do all these three to have make progress towards ending this DLC. We have acquired what we wanted. We have the perks, the M5 implant. We've got this. We've got the DNA Avenger perks. So now we can walk that much faster. Okay, and our status conditions are looking pretty good right now, so no problem over there. Before I do these quests, however, I'm thinking of resolving this DLC in a manner which I like to call as a pacifist manner. So this is the think tank, and the way to resolve this DLC is there are multiple ways of doing that. Okay, one of the ways you can do that is by killing everything. These robots right here. Okay, so I'm just letting him talk. Oh, doctor's bag. I must have missed this entirely. Okay, so the way you end this DLC, one of the ways of ending it is by killing everything. You kill all these 5 robots here, or these the people at the think tank, the scientists who have placed their brains into these robotic bodies. You kill Mobius, who appeared here in this television here. He's always watching. That's his eye, like always looking at the think tank. He's spying at them. And basically kill everything, you resolve this DLC, and you're good to go. So we can go ahead and do that. Or we could side with the think tank and do what they're basically telling us to do their quests, come back to them, and then go ahead and kill Mobius. Alternatively, we could also side with Mobius. We could go to him. Once we're done with these guys' quests, he'll give us quests, and we can then side with him and kill these guys. Alternatively, we could work together, and we could get both these sides and Mobius to work together and resolve this peacefully. So that's the option I'm going to take. In order to do that option, this guy right here, he's the main problem, Dr. Klein. Right, yeah, so as he was saying, he's the one who's hell-bent on killing Mobius. But the other 4 people here, they can be convinced to do otherwise. So that's what we're going to be doing this part. We're going to talking through their dialogue, doing part of their quests, and resolving what we can to get them on our side. So in order to do that, I'm going to start off by talking to, let's see, we'll start with Dr. O. He's the closest. Now, in order to do this, I'm going to be taking Mentats. That's always something that is good to take because you want some additional intelligence. I don't think there is any specific speed check that I need to do that would require like medicine. There might be some that requires high science, but my science is pretty good right now. It is at 78, so I'm good. But I will wear the Naughty Nightwear just so that I can get my speech that much higher. If I need to, I can take further magazines to kind of enhance my skills further. So I'm going to start with this guy. So I'm going to be kind of fast tracking this just so that I can get their quest going. So here it is, picking your brain. So that's his quest. So we can resolve it just by talking to him. Alternatively, we could try to resolve his quest by doing some missions for him, but we'll see. So let's see. I think you mean impossible. You're Dr. O, correct? So let's do with that. So you can go ahead and read that if you like, but I'm gonna just fast track through this. So he wanted to ask about the Pip-Boy.
How dare you bring Robco-Tech in here? We can make some... you're lucky I don't have...
So he's got issues with Robco technology and House in general. So that's kind of what we need to resolve with him. He has some issues with himself. He feels he's not as smart. He's a robotics expert here, but he's not really that smart, to be honest. So he's anti-House, anti-Robco. So let's see where this goes.
Worry and him and
Okay.
Fine.
Let's see.
All things robotical. You see a robot? I made it. See a broken robot? I made it that way. Deconstructed it down to parts.
Right. So yeah, that's what he does. You know, he makes robots.
Who asked you?
Yeah, so barter functions. You could do this check if you wanted to, just to get more barter, but I'm not going to do that. Let's see. Can you tell me about this facility?
Big Mountain used to be a mountain. Then there was a slight mishap. Now it's a crater. The dome used to be buried. Now it's exposed to the sky. Don't get me wrong. Makes the sky light up.
Yeah, so that's kind of the backstory. I mentioned this before, so just repetition of that. Let's see. Mobius and his monsters.
That genius Mobius somehow tried to see what makes them tick. Supposedly,
So yeah, Mobius made a bunch of robots, so he's got a beef with him as well because he makes robots. And Dr. O makes robots as well, so Mobius's robots actually work. So he hates that fact. Okay, so that's that. Do you have another name?
yeah, I do. It wasn't always O. I just took that one by default because sometimes it's easier to accept the mistake as long as it's perfect. I don't want to get.
Okay, so we want to go do this option because that's his. Okay, there you go. That's his quest. What's in a name? The other one was the quest for everybody. So let's go ahead and do that. See if you can resolve O's problem with his name.
Great. Psychology. Okay. But even.
So yeah, he's not a huge fan of O, the name itself. And if they kept confusing the letter with the number, your name is Dr. O, Dr. Zero. So you can do that. But this will allow us to progress further in his speech tree.
Yes, thank you. Zero.
Okay, so, and that levels me up actually. But the screen won't show up till I'm exited out of this conversation. So, I mean, the solution here is that he doesn't like the fact that he's called O, and a lot of people just write his name as Dr. O, O as in the letter O. But the joke here is that it's actually not O. A lot of people refer to him as Zero because he's not very smart. He keeps breaking his robots. So let's see. Let's see. I don't know. O sounds more impressive. All right. So you want me to call you Zero or?
Zero's my name. Truth be told, it's just that they're both certain.
Okay. So we have further. Well, Zero and O do look alike. There's no way to tell a difference. Okay. So yeah, we can actually do this quest, do this check. Let's see. We can come back and do this quest in a sec while we level up. So here I actually want to level up my melee and sneak to 80 because we want this perk called Ninja, which is really good. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So sneak is at 58. We'll actually put 1 point in science and the rest on sneak. We need it to be 80, and then we'll work on melee weapons. I'm hoping I'll have enough by level 24 to take that perk, but we'll see if we can't. Okay, so again, F5 to save, and here we're going to go ahead and switch our apparel to the Mad Scientist Scrubs, which gives us even more intelligence. Our intelligence is at 9, and we should be able to resolve this. And I want to talk to you about your name. And intelligence 9. If you wanted to differentiate the O with O, just put a slash to the 0. And that'll tell people that you're actually O. Because that's the whole thing with his name. And that's the beef that he has with it. He doesn't like the fact that O looks a lot like 0. So instead of 0, put a slash through it. And that way, you know, you can differentiate between the O and the 0.
What? Did I shoot myself with a brainial beam or something? That's brilliant. I mean, I would have come to the same conclusion. Eventually. Oh, who am I deceiving? I never would have figured that out. I can't figure anything out. I
Okay, so going forward.
Exactly. At least the old name was indisputable. Oh is more like surprise. Oh, look what I stepped in.
And then you basically soothe his ego. Well, there's power in 0. It reduces anything multiplied against it to 0. Or you may want to be stuck with O as in oh. Maybe you should dispense with the means and focus on the accomplishments.
Well, of course it does. That's the most lethal of mathematics. That's pretty cool, actually. Destroyer of numbers. I already wreck every robot I study. Why not basic arithmetic? I like your solution. With that kind of slash in the middle, I can set myself apart. If I wanted to. The biggest zero in all the think tank. They won't be able to escape it. That diagonal slash right down the middle. Thanks. Talking to you, it really helped unclog some frustration. Talking. What a primitive form of thought kicking.
There you go. So that's his quest resolved. And you can ask for some scrap stuff here. And he'll give you some stuff over time if you wanted to. You could try to barter, but it'll fail, so not a problem. So that's his quest done. So we are done with that. And we're going to next go on to the next available scientist here. I want to do the scientist who cannot actually say anything intelligible. Not Dala just yet. Dala is Dr. 8, I think. And then this is Klein, I think. Oh, Boros? Oh no, Dr. 8. Yeah, we'll go with him. His dialogue we can just fast track through. Let's see. Yeah, so he'll speak in radio waves and it's going to be unintelligible. Is that too bad or good? Something to do? Can I ask you some questions? So ask him about everything, basically. Who are you? And let's see. And didn't mean to alarm you. Technologies of Klein. Percolating or something. And there you go. So you can do Science 75. Or Perception 7 you can do. So we'll do Sound 75. And that somehow allows us to understand what he's saying. And then there you go. On the same wavelength, that's added. It's full of surprises. Now our responses are going to change. Whatever he's going to say, we're going to say something that as if we can understand what he's saying. But as a person, as a real person, myself, I can't actually understand him. It's just our character can somehow do that. You're more than just sound effects in a tank. So we're again soothing his ego, and we're going to do Sound 75. And do not select this option. It'll only take a second to violate your rights and make your voice mine. So we don't do that. If it's a term link code, don't worry. I'm not going to take advantage of your exposed code. Because we're taking advantage of his exposed code to get something, I think. And there you go. You gained karma. And we have completed his quest as well. And then we can say, not a problem. I know what it feels to be experimented on. And then we can ask him a bunch of other questions. Again, he's not going to say much. More of our dialogue is what makes sense here. So Higgs Village is another thing we can explore, and he'll talk about it, and he'll talk about other stuff as well. And let's see. I'll be going now. Let's see if you have any other questions for him. And let's do this again. And he'll give you Programmer Digest. He's also going to give you stuff for any new discoveries he's made. And that's that. So that's his quest resolved as well. So that's perfect. So that's 2 people. We're done. We're going to do Boros as well. Again, I'm going to fast track through most of their dialogues. his voice is pretty nice, so I would recommend somebody who's interested the way he speaks to actually listen to what he's saying. Uh, but I'll just fast track it. So he's talking about Cazadors, the Cazadors that we visited. Um, uh, so he's saying though I created them, I worked on them. He's also talking about the Night Stalkers, which we haven't encountered yet, but those he also created, and we're just saying that those that's how these creatures came to the Mojave Wasteland. The Cazadors, the Night Stalkers, they basically came from his lab here. So that's how this DLC is actually connected. So let's see, Mobius, radar fans. Fans doesn't make much sense to me. And just gonna talk more about this stuff. These are trapped here, trapped, not trapped. He also has issues in his childhood, and as we do one of the quests for the high school, you'll get to see what it is. And let's see. So something about technologies. Can you tell me about the big mountain? Why have you leveled this place? Test cities. Talks about test cities. So he's basically talking about how they turned the mountain into a crater. So the whole facility, as I understand it, I may be incorrect, used to be housed under a mountain, but something happened either before the war or after the war, which caused this to be this way. Let's see. Let's see. He doesn't seem to have many options here. Okay. Yeah, I guess his quest requires you to do some things. Try to find any trace of Gabe. And okay, yeah, so that's it. You need to get him Gabe. Okay, so that's how you resolve his quest. So there's more to it than that. Okay. We'll talk to Klein as well. So we'll do more of his, just to pacify him as well. And we can talk a little bit more about Dr. Mobius. And we'll do the harder speed checks, or the checks that we have here. We can even do a science check, just to get this out of the way. Again, I'm just fast tracking this. The strange passive sensation, just so that the others cannot attack. Oh, and he talks about other visitors. Those other visitors are Father Elijah, and the other one is, I think, Ulysses. And these guys came here, either they were kidnapped or they just stumbled upon this place. And yeah, you can find more out about that. So what is this place? And he hates being called it Big MT. Big M as in the letter M and T, but it sounds like empty as in nothing's in it. So they hate it. You should call it the Big Mountain. That's why I keep calling it the Big Mountain. But people will call it Big MT. So Forbidden Zone, he'll talk about that. Can you tell me more about the pylons? And can you tell me more about brain extractions? And we could do medicine check, but we don't have enough. So autodoc surgery code or something like that. Doesn't matter. And what else? And down this we can do a medicine check if we wanted to. We are already wearing a lot of medicine gear, but I think we should have a little bit more. Programmer's Digest of Science. So I guess we don't really have that. I was hoping we would have more. I guess we don't. Anyway, so we need to do. Did he give us a quest when the visitors attack? Yeah, Dr. O about the attack on the think tank. We can talk to him about it. And previous visitors, tell me what happened. So yeah, again, this is more backstory about who came and what they did. All right, and that's that. Now we're gonna go ahead and talk to Dr. Dalla. He came and went. More quests. Okay, Dr. Klein again. I'm gonna talk to him just to kind of get this question. So again, a lot of quests just by talking to these people, and there you go. That's another quest done. Simple quests. And I think I have the well rested, so I'm getting like crazy XP here right now. I'll hit 28 pretty fast. So that's Dr. Dalla. Let's go talk to her. Her dialogue is also pretty interesting, but it's also kind of creepy. So that's the quest of talking to all those people. Let's see. Yeah, so this stuff like gets her going, I guess. And that's pretty much it. That's her quest, coming out of her shell. She's more like, I think she's tired of being stuck in this body, and she misses the human body, but she thinks she was never human in the first place. So we're reminding her of that by blinking rapidly and, you know, stretching and all that. And we're going to ignore what just happened there. So let's see. So I'm just going to power through this here. She talks about other career as well. And that's Ulysses. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Is there a way to turn off the pacification field? Well, you just need to get your brain. Dr. Mobius. What Klein wants. That's good. Previous test subjects. So again, they'll talk to O. We've already spoken to O about it in detail. This used to be a mountain. She'll tell you about that. We've spoken enough. Alright, so that's that. So we've done another quest. I think having done these quests, we have successfully done our part. So out of these 5 people, we need 3 people to be on our side. So we've got Dr. O, Dr. Dalla, and Dr. 8 on our side. We can get Klein on our side as well by giving him Gabe or whatever. Once we have that, these guys will effectively convince Klein for us. Okay, so that's that. And what do we have? Brain's best friend and missing components. I don't care about that. We'll try to do this at Brain's best friend. We have to go to Higgs Village. Yeah, that's the one. So Higgs Village is actually pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and do that. But yeah, so these were some of the quests that I wanted to kind of show. I know I fast-tracked through them, but it's just a bunch of speed checks and whatnot. And I actually wonder what my skills would be like if I look at medicine. 69. Still not enough, unfortunately. And I don't have the medicine magazine, I think. I don't know what it is called. I still have the Mentats effect, which gives me +2 intelligence. So my intelligence is at 8. Can I get my intelligence to go higher? Lad's life. Oh no, that's not it. Lockpick. We'll go slowly just to see. Fixing weapons, fixing things. Yeah. I do not think I have a medicine magazine. I don't even know what it's called. I'm just gonna use the salesman weekly and get this guy to give me some more bottle caps. I just have so many of those. I felt like I should be using some of them. Sorry. Yeah, right. So there you go. I think that's about it. Next up, we've got to make our way to Higgs Village. I wonder if we can do that this part. But finding Gabe is going to be a bit of an issue. Let's see if we can do that. Again, there's a bunch of stuff in Higgs Village as well. So that would be very interesting. Again, we've leveled up very fast here. And we can just go straight here. I think Higgs Village is just pointed towards our, yeah. And we shall, there's a lobotomite right there, as you see. And I'm just gonna sneak by him. And we're going pretty fast, so this is good. Yeah. We might run into some mines, but I'm not super concerned about that. There's a bunch of stuff here if you wanted to pick it up. I'm gonna pass on that for now. Instead, yeah, I think that's Higgs Village right there. Yeah. Bunch of lobotomites. So these are the humans that they kind of captured and, you know, brought here and did that. Oh, electric box. Interesting. I didn't know that this carried stuff. So yeah, we could sneak attack kill them like this. They're even wearing lab coats as they are right now. So I'm going to try to find Gabe as soon as I can. Do not know if I'll be able to get him fast enough before I can resolve their quest. But we'll be coming back to Higgs Village. Higgs Village is actually a pretty cool place. This place, by the way, is completely safe. So, unless you have the Wild Wasteland perk. I think this is it. There you go. That's all you needed. Oh, more evidence in X8. Oh, okay. Huh. I guess that was not enough. Oh, well, I mean, I tried. So this is Higgs Village. This is essentially like a big warehouse in this facility with, you know, its own artificial, well, it's letting in sunlight. It's got like filters and fans and whatnot. Plus it has houses, and these houses all belong to each of the scientists, which is pretty cool. There are 6 scientists, and each of these houses belong to them. It's got the whole fountain and everything, which you can run. It even has a weather simulation, you know, sunlight and rain or whatever. It has the look very similar to that of Tranquility Lane, if you've played that in Fallout 3. And there's a bunch of bottle caps here. I'll take those. What is the super stim pack? I'll take that as well. Haven't run into many super stim packs. I mean, it heals you for a bunch, but it doesn't really do much for you beyond that. So. Yeah, so if we had the Wild Wasteland trait, we would not just have Gabe come out of there. There would be like a Deathclaw that would be running towards us. A mini Deathclaw, like a small one. Gabe was his pet dog, we thought, but it was actually a Deathclaw. He had a pet Deathclaw as a pet, basically. I don't know, I think it's a dog that he worked on to make it into like a... I think he worked on the dog in some capacity and made it into like a... turned it into a monstrosity or something, I think, is what he did. Okay, anyway. So that's that. Let's see. We could go here. Y17 facility, X8 research center. I don't know how far that would be before we need to kind of conclude that. Yeah, I think that's X8 right there, and I think, if I'm not incorrect, that's like I mean, of course, it's part of the main quest, but I think it's also like it needs you to have like it's like a school or whatever. Well, we'll see. So again, just sneaking our way in. There is rads here, but not to worry.